Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Honest to Pod with me, Ashton McAllister.
And me, Matthew Ali.
And this is episode
66.
Yay!
I feel like there should be a bingo number for 66, but does it go that high?
66, bingo is up to 100.
So it should be...
Too fat late, no, it's 88.
66?
66.
I don't know, lickety split. No, that'd be... I have no idea. I feel like that'd be like, come on, not 22. Legs 11.
2 swans is 22, isn't it?
2 ducks. So, I don't know what the 66. We need to go more bingo.
We were just chatting about bingo. Do you know what? I have never been to bingo.
Never?
No, I've never been to bingo at all. We had a bingo set as a kid. That's the only thing.
Bingo is really good. It is really fun. But now, like, we went to Mecca Bingo the end of last year. And, you know, in the old days, like, you've got dabbers, these pens, you've got paper. And now they've got machines that just do it on its own, even when you're in the bingo, like these, like, pads that you give to everyone.
So you literally have to do nothing.
You just have to watch it. Yeah, so...
Clickety click, 66.
Oh, I wasn't too far off. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, you checked it.
What did you say?
I said lickety split, but that wasn't the same.
No. Clickety click.
Yeah. When we were at bingo, the guy used to go, he couldn't stop laughing because he didn't make any sense. He'd go, look at this. Look. You're like, he'd be like, 22, 7, and he couldn't get the numbers, so he had to keep looking at the board.
Clickety click. This great sounding rhyme sounds like a train steaming down a track. Doesn't sound like a train at all.
Red Raw.
That was Monday night.
And Monday night. Oh God.
I don't know why I said that.
Tickety boo. 62.
64 Red Raw. Anyway, welcome to another episode, another week. Guys, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome.
Welcome. Can there be like first time listeners at 66?
I think there will be, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It is, I think there will be. But, you know.
Let us know if it's your first episode, because I'd be interested to know.
I think there is. Also, welcome to our loyal listeners as well.
Hello.
Our faves. Another episode. And happy to start off the episode saying that we have 2 new Patreons.
Yay! 2 this week. That's mad.
It is mad.
All those little grinder and your little scruff.
Oh, stop looking.
There you go. Just showing up as your most used apps.
But it's not like a secret that I'm on apps. Although, just because you have the luxury of deleting them.
What's that question?
It's hard to know.
We had a conversation today, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we sharing this conversation?
I mean, it's all the same, isn't it? We didn't really get anywhere apart from the fact that I feel like ever since last week where it was a bit like up and down, this week is very much like I'm super in it. So I'm like, okay, let's see what next week holds.
It is. It's like, you know, whatever. But yes, 2 new Patreons. Thank you very much to Philip Hamlin becoming a Patreon.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, you know him from...
You know him from rugby as well, no?
I don't think I've ever met him.
Seriously?
No.
He's from Ireland as well, but I think he's Ireland.
I'm from Ireland.
You're Northern Ireland.
Still Ireland.
You're basically Britain. Basically, that's true, isn't it?
No. This is what the whole war is about.
Apparently, so... Do you know what the Orange...
Orange Order?
The Orange Walk? The Orange Order?
Yeah.
Are they like one in like Irish?
Yeah.
So there was a post on the Multiple Sclerosis Society, MS Society, have an orange triangle as their like emblem. And then they were having an event in Northern Ireland, and they said, "Let's paint the roads orange."
Oh.
and then someone from rugby posted it being like, "I'll just leave this here," and I said, "What the fuck does that even mean?" And then after people had left it, that like about me, and like, so I looked up at it and I was like, "Oh my god, this has got some deep rooted like issues."
Yeah. So the Orange Order would march like on the 12th of July, and that's when a lot of the trouble happens because the Orange Order form bands, and the bands parade to Catholic and Protestant areas. Catholics don't want them in their areas because of history, and usually back in the day when I was growing up, there would be like full on riots, bombs, That's what the IRA were from because of the Troubles. That's why the DUP they're very orange, you'd say. Yeah.
God, you learn so much these days, isn't it? So many things happen in Northern Ireland. These or just Ireland in general. Like these should be in history books.
You say that because the ongoing thing we have in Ireland is English people aren't taught Irish history.
There's so much history there.
And the reason why English people aren't taught Irish history is because the English come across really, really bad in Irish history. 100%. You know about like most people were taught in the famine that like stupid Irish people put a lot of like love in potato, and then when the potato blight came, they all died. Sort of like potato blight came, but the English kept stealing all the other crops and all the other animals. So like Irish people just didn't live off potatoes; they lived off crops and other animals. But because of the English stealing all the
everything,
food, that's why so many people died.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of issues to like just history in a lot of definitely like the UK and stuff. But I feel like I don't know a lot about American history. But if you want to learn about African American history, that's its own subject because history is always just this very like typical like you're only taught one specific thing.
Yeah.
And it highlights some positives, but forgets all about the issues that happened, isn't it? Negative things.
It's very self-serving history.
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of thing you'd see in 1984, the dystopian novel.
I actually really like 1984, and I wanted to watch a play of it as well.
Did you?
I did, yeah. It was really good.
I did my dissertation in 1984.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we won't talk about that right now. That's a topic for another day.
But yeah, the MS Society, not this. Because one of the guys I was saying last year, he works for MS Society as well. But we haven't spoken to each other. I was like, shall I message him and ask him, like, do they know that they've done this? But I guess they would have known afterwards.
Yeah.
But they were organising a walk for children, and it was 1 kilometre, 5 kilometres, or like 10 kilometres or something like that. And they're like, let's paint the roads orange.
Yeah, no way. Funny, whenever it is the season the 12th, they paint the roads red, white, and blue.
Why?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, they do because because the 12th of July is all about unionism, being part of the union, being part of Great Britain. So they paint things red, white, and blue.
Oh God!
But then there's people out there.
Is this just Northern Ireland or Ireland as a whole?
Probably more Northern Ireland. I can't imagine there's many places in the south that would do this. Because then other people come along and paint the roads green, white, and gold. But
when you say paint the roads, like literally paint the roads.
Sure, you know how the curb.
Yeah.
You know how curbs are set, like each curb slab? Usually they paint like a curb slab red, another one white, another one blue.
That'll take ages.
Protestants have any time to do. And then people come along and then they paint it green, white, and gold, or green, white, and orange for. You know the ironic thing about the flag, green, white, and orange? It's supposed to be green for Ireland, white for peace, and orange for Northern Ireland. So it's supposed to be
both together.
Yeah, peace.
How do you know so much about this?
I read a lot.
Oh, you did read a book recently.
I've not read it yet.
Oh shit!
I know it's a big book, and I've got so many novels to read. So another episode. Let's jump in, Mark.
Hold on, you only read out one page in.
Oh shit! I did. I would have come back. How did we go on such a tangent from Patreon over?
We said he's from Ireland.
What are we like? What are we like?
What am I like?
What am I like?
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, everyone, Matt is totally coroning all over my face right now.
Sorry, I've been a bit ill this week.
We don't think it's corona, though, do we?
I don't know, but I've been fluey. Not fluey, but phlegmy.
Yeah,
mucusy, and I don't think that is
phlegm,
like sneezing and stuff. So
yeah,
and I haven't got shortness of breath, so I feel like it's not. But I've got a real chesty cough, like it burns right here.
Mm.
Yeah. The other Patreon.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I was going to make sure you're okay.
Okay.
The other Patreon came through last night.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I was chatting to him last night, so I said thank you. And it's Sean McNichol. Thank you very much, Sean, for becoming a Patreon.
Who's Sean McNichol?
Sean is my friend from Ireland.
Oh, hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Cute Sean. The picture you showed me, I thought it was really cute.
The picture's nice.
Huh?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just got his Instagram.
I know, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Sean, he lives in the next town along. From me, Dungiven. It's called.
Good, he given up his location. He's going to get flocked.
He's from the same time. Do you remember X Factor had the Irish guy, Owen Quinn?
Owen
Quinn.
Eggwan. Is that, they wouldn't call him Eggwan,
No,
would
he's
they?
called Owen, but...
Yeah.
He's from the same place there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Sean's address is. Could you imagine? His phone number is. So yeah, guys, thanks very much for becoming a patron. I mean, guys,
honestly, it's one of the most amazing things ever.
It is. We feel very, very blessed. And if you feel like you want to become a patron, you can just follow the link on our website and sign up to one of the tiers. What are the 3 tiers, Matt?
You've got the basic P.
Yeah.
So that's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah. Which is $2, $3.
It's about £2.50.
£2.50.
Yeah.
Then you've got the. I only remember the top and the bottom one.
It's all that matters. Those verse ones are.
Do you know what? She's not really first at the moment.
Who?
Me.
All right. The middle tier is bougie.
Bougie tier. And do you know what I was thinking of? Because yesterday, and we'll talk about it, we watched Pretty Woman. Yeah. And I was thinking that shop is so bougie.
Yeah.
I should remember that now forever.
Yeah.
Which is $5. And you've got the Sugar Daddy tier, which is $10.
Yeah. So depending on how generous you're feeling, anything is welcome. And we'll use that type of money for paying for the software that we use every week, paying for editing, paying for new equipment.
I don't know if it's worth, because I think the main goal for us is to get this piece of equipment that will give us better sound quality.
Yeah.
And for me, that's our main goal, which is quite an expensive thing. It works up to a few £100, and it'd be nice to get that so that we can have our own mics each. And it
brings the sound together nicely, balances it all out. It opens it up.
So,
guys, I'm really sorry about this. So unprofessional.
Sorry. Ugh. I'm so sorry.
Are you done?
I didn't bring my. Okay.
You right?
I brought lozenges.
Oh.
It'll be okay.
Okay. Just you coughed over me.
I will.
What were we saying?
Thank you for the patrons that we have, and we look forward to having some more.
Yeah, we're in a new studio today. We're actually out at Jordan's. Jordan's cooking us dinner.
He made one dinner already, and it was kind of slightly ruined. So now we're gonna have another one.
Yeah, and I cooked dessert.
And we haven't told Jordan. Jordan really hates lime. Okay, it hates it, detests it. And I told Ashley that he doesn't like it, but Ashley was like, "No, my cake is chocolate and lime. I will only put chocolate and lime in it." So we're gonna see if you eat the cake.
Slightly different from what actually happened. I had already bought all the ingredients, and then you said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, Jordan doesn't like lime.
Detests it, hates it."
Yeah. But I went to cook another cake this morning, but it wasn't cool enough to bring, so I had to go with the lime one.
Cool enough?
Cool, you have to cool it down.
Why did you have to cool that one?
That was cooked before.
This morning?
Yeah.
Did you make the other cake?
Yeah.
So there's a cake at home?
Yeah.
With oranges in it?
Oranges, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I was going to make lemon pavlova, but I just ran out of time.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How was your week, Ashley?
Week has been all right, thank you. Work is busy. Had a work trip up to Manchester. Up and down one day is a long day.
That is. It's like a 4-hour train, no?
2.5, 3 hours, and each of them were delayed. So we left London around 9:30 and got there for 12:30. Yeah, so 3 hours. Ugh. It really threw me off for the rest of the week. I felt really tired. And I've been reading all about Corona every single day. Like I'm pretty much, because I'm sort of contracted a bit more, I made clarity with my boss that just FYI, this contract includes sick pay. FYI.
Suddenly going to be off next week now.
Yeah, good. Weekend's been. I've seen you a lot this week.
Lucky you.
And I say that like lucky us, not just lucky me.
Well, I'm quite busy in general. Like I've always got a lot of things going on normally.
Oh, okay.
But
I just sit at home and wait for you to be free, do I?
Pretty much. That, you go and wait in chicken shops for taking men.
Please. We seen you at the quiz, which is good. We didn't win.
No, we didn't. We came second.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Joint second, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we got a new board game.
Yes.
I say we didn't pay for it.
No, John did. Yeah, my housemate did. It's called The Fury of Dracula. So we played that on Friday night, but that went on for hours. Like, it was probably about 4 hours long almost.
Yeah, because we were learning it for the first time.
Yeah.
And we went to watch rugby yesterday, and we'll come back to rugby, the England-Wales game. We'll come back to rugby in a bit. And here we are today, catching up. How was your week?
It was quite long, actually. Like, work was quite long. I've actually been working a lot, which is unusual for me recently. Early starts, late finishes.
That's probably why you're sick. You're not used to all this work.
Yeah, I think so. I think my body's just drained.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been a bit ill this week, starting on Thursday, and then like I went on Friday to Oxford, and I was on the train. And I just started feeling really, really bad. And obviously, everyone's like, "Are you sure you've got the corona, whatever?" And I don't think I have, but I took like the questionnaire online to see whether it could be, and then they said the questionnaire said no. And then yeah, but I just had a really chesty cough, which has been really uncomfortable, and this like had to nap a lot, which is not great. But what we did do yesterday is we watched Pretty Woman I watched it for the first time.
The very first time.
And if you've listened to the podcast before, I'm not really a film person because I can't generally stay awake. Like even today, although it wasn't a film, I went over to Ed's this morning.
Who's Ed?
The guy that I've been seeing.
Okay.
And
I thought you meant like Edward Norton, the actor.
No. He's not fit at all. And within 3 seconds of putting my head down on the sofa, like to watch the reunion of Love Is Blind, I fell asleep.
Ugh, what a shit show!
You haven't even seen it.
I watched one episode at your house.
So good.
No, it wasn't.
So good, honestly.
So much
the reunion
drama.
wasn't good though, because like, I've watched a lot of Real Housewives of Atlanta before, and their reunions are wild. Like people are fighting and stuff and screaming, but this was all like very amicable. Everyone's like, even though we're not married, we still really like each other or something.
Did any of the couples get married?
Yeah,
I bet you 100%.
And 2 of them are still married, and this is a year later.
Oh please!
Yes, police.
Please.
What? Like I'm not saying it necessarily. Well, they're still together, so I mean it's a good business opportunity. I feel like it's like, those like family things where they stay together but they don't really love each other. Like House of Cards, although they do actually love each other.
Mm.
The president and what's his face. But where relationships, who was it? Was it House of Cards or Scandal? I think it was Scandal, where the first lady and the president stay together because obviously it's more beneficial for them, but they aren't actually in love with each other. It's Scandal.
Is it Scandal?
It is. Yeah.
I don't think in House of Cards they love each other either. I think they're just both power driven and they're drawn together because they work together. And
I think some of those are like that. Or I'm not thinking of those. I'm thinking of Love Island. Sorry, where they stay together afterwards, even though because they can go and make appearances and make money, but they're actually like not that into each other.
Yeah, and then they'll all divorce, and that'll be another drama.
Exactly, another page on OK Magazine.
Yeah, what a mess.
But how good is Pretty Woman?
I love it.
I thought it was really, really good. I was really upset because, and you even said it, you're like, Matt, that should be you.
Yeah.
And it should be, I literally should be made to be that kind of person.
You literally need to find somebody who's going to treat you like that.
Well, this is the problem that I had with the film. How rude was he? So rude and disrespectful to her.
When it comes to dominating people, I love that.
Okay. Imagine you trying to hold someone down.
No, I love being the other person. Wear this, okay?
She's like, "Excuse me, I'm speaking to you. Stand here." And that's my problem. I feel like I'm made to be looked after in some respects, but I couldn't deal with being told what to do.
Yeah, you couldn't have dealt with him saying, "I'm paying you to be on my beck and call." You'd be like, "Excuse me, excuse you, me."
Oh my god! I'd be like, "Absolutely not. I'll take your money and leave. Goodbye." Oh my god!
I know. I can see like when you were pointing out last night. I could see that it was rude, but then I also like we were saying, to him it's a business thing. He wasn't looking for a romance.
But he wouldn't let himself fall into
Yeah, because he's got an ex-wife, his girlfriend's moved out of the flat back in New York. Lots going on in his life. He wasn't really wanting emotional hookups.
So just to be clear, He has an ex-wife. His girlfriend is literally moving out the flat, and then within 5 days of seeing someone, he's fallen in love with her, and then says he'll pay his way. Now this is Love Is Blind, basically. Like 5 days. He's been with her. While his girlfriend that he's just with is in the house and he's falling in love with it. And that's different to Love Is Blind. Okay.
Well, see, if any of the girls in Love Is Blind was Julia Roberts, that would make a big difference.
They're beautiful.
They're not Julia Roberts.
I mean, she's not that beautiful, to be fair.
Julia Roberts?
Yeah, she's not.
Take a seat, please.
She's not, honestly.
Are you for real?
I'm for reals.
How is she not beautiful?
I didn't say she's not beautiful. She's not that beautiful. She's
Why?
quite average looking.
What point of her is ugly?
Okay, I'm not saying ugly, but her top lip.
She's the best smile.
No, she doesn't. She's got like this weird like lip, chubby lip. That's like, no, that's not for me.
It's because she's white.
I hate white people. I really do.
Cool. Should we move on?
Okay.
Pretty Woman is awesome though.
It was really good.
And the soundtrack's brilliant.
It's not, but it's not. That soundtrack's not like a soundtrack made for that film. They got a bunch of like.
It's
pop
different
music.
songs, yeah. It's a good. Like all the songs on there are brilliant. Yeah, I do like it. It's good. Moving on. Let's talk about rugby.
So yesterday, England and Wales were playing rugby, and in the Six Nations, and the score was quite close in the end. So England won 33-30. I think they were up at 33-16 at one point, but then Wales scored one of the best tries ever in the very first play of the second half. And was this in the first half that this happened?
It was pretty much the first 10 minutes of the There
was a big old scuffle, and your baby boo, Joe Marler,
love him,
saw himself on the big screen, and then started fondling Alun Wyn Jones. Alun Wyn Jones didn't realise what was happening, and then realised and looked down.
Yeah.
Did a wry smile, but then looked at the referee and was like, well, the touch judge.
Yeah, and was like, did you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I just find it so bizarre. Like, I find it really confusing. I mean, Joe Marler, I think, is crazy hot. But I also just think Joe Marler's a tiny bit crazy.
100%.
And, I mean, he's always advocated for gay rights. And, you know, he tweeted, and I think he got blocked by Israel Folau because he kept telling Israel Folau to take a seat, basically. I mean, I love him. Plus, he's physically just crazy handsome. I'm just jealous. I just wish it was my balls he was fondling with.
Oh my God. So, like, we both giggled when it happened. It was quite funny. I thought it was quite funny.
The thing is, in the bar, we were in a very full bar. Probably, from what I imagine, the only 3 gay people in that bar.
That's some assumption right there. Considering there was a whole female hockey team around the corner, which is
gay men. I said probably, and I didn't see the full hockey. There was no hockey team in there, was there?
Yeah, when we normally play the quiz.
Women?
Yeah.
That's probably why I didn't notice.
Yeah. You're like, we're in this bar full of men. I was like, there were quite a few women. I was like, what?
This reminds me of the time we went up to West Hampstead for dinner once, or Sunday lunch. And we went in, and there was like this table that was reserved for such and such rugby team. We're like, oh, yes, they're coming at 2 o'clock. It's like 1:45. I was like, we'll sit in the table right next to them. So you sat down at the table right next to them. And we're like, oh, ordering our food, ordering the pints. Female rugby team comes in. We're like, oh. Never been so disappointed in my life. So I got up and left. I said, this is false advertising. Can I have a refund?
That's so annoying. We'd definitely be like, oh my God, Hampstead as well? Oof.
I was like, sorry, girls, you're in the wrong table.
Boys, yeah.
You're in the wrong table, lady. Can you move along?
This is reserved for the rugby team.
Well, I mean, in the bar, it was only really us 2 that laughed. Like, we laughed quite loudly.
I giggled.
No, we were all 3 of us. All 3 of us like, what is he doing? Quite loudly.
No, that's not happening.
I mean, you are quite loud.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I mean, well, I thought it was quite funny. It made me laugh.
I thought it was funny.
But then it did at the time sort of made me think, like, you know, I guess it is quite inappropriate. And then afterwards, you know, people on Twitter and stuff and things were like, if this was a workplace, like this is at the workplace, that's basically sexual harassment, isn't it? Because someone's just touching them.
Yeah.
And Andy Good, you know Andy Good?
Yeah.
He wrote it on his Twitter. Imagine if someone touched another man or woman up in the workplace and then someone joked about it on TV. People have admiration for Gareth Thomas with what he's been through and opened up about, but I wonder if something similar was done in a homophobic way, he'd joke about that. And we couldn't hear it in the bar, but did you hear what he'd said?
I heard, he said, Gareth Thomas said if he knew that was happening, he wouldn't have retired.
Yeah, and they were all laughing. And then people thought it was a really poor way to handle it because it could have been an educational moment. Instead, he sort of like made light of what is potentially a...
It's a citable offence, isn't it?
It is, because it says if you grab someone's genitalia, then...
But it didn't grab it. I'm not anyway saying what he did was fine, but
I think it would count as grabbing because, like, you can touch people's bodies in rugby accidentally, like, when you do it, but, like, it was obviously on purpose.
Of course, yeah.
And in rugby, I think it's quite interesting because in rugby, there's quite a laddie culture, isn't it? Which I actually think is, like, a certain level of, like, toxic masculinity kind of thing. I think a lot of it can be quite toxic to a certain extent when you've got to,
I think you're right, but I'd also say from the outside looking in, it comes across toxic. Like, imagine people, like, you have internal jokes within your team, don't you? And it's only like, no matter, depending on what the level of joke is, if you say that same thing to anyone outside the rugby, be like, that just sounds stupid.
Well, that was my initial thoughts as well, because then even before we go into what Alun Wyn Jones said in like the press conference, I was like, well, maybe that's the kind of thing that would be, because they're like, if he touched a woman like that, would it be okay? And of course it wouldn't have been okay. And I've said before on the podcast and things in general, like, I felt like when I've been in my workplace and someone's touched me on my bum or something, I actually don't think it's appropriate, but then I don't feel like it's something that I would bring up then. And then some people are like, well, you can't compare the rugby field to a regular workplace, which I don't think is fair, if I'm honest. I think it's still...
Somebody's saying that, it's just on the field, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like, I would take this argument back because I can't remember if we talked about it in the podcast or not, but a couple of years ago, I can't never pronounce his name.
You can't pronounce anything, to be fair.
Yeah. The French player, Mathieu
Bastereau
said faggot, called somebody a faggot. And my argument was if I went to my work and called somebody a faggot, I'd be fired. And I thought he got it off of a slap in the wrist. So, at the end of the day, they're paid to be there, and that is technically work. So,
yeah. Alun Wyn Jones said, like, if he'd complained, he would have got told off. And he thinks that...
Well, yeah. If he had the way I understood that is, he said he felt like he couldn't do anything, otherwise he would have got a red card.
The bit that I thought he said is, as a captain, if he was complaining, he would have got told off. I missed the bit about the red card.
Oh, maybe I've made up something in my head.
But he did say he wanted... I don't know if he said it in word for word, like he wants the World Rugby Union to look at it. I felt like he said he would consider it, but that actually referees should be using their VAR stuff to check that as well.
TMO,
VAR is football, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
I think fundamentally, and then Twitter's really bad for it because, like, basically everyone's like, oh, you're overreacting if you think it's inappropriate. And here's, like, the political police, whatever,
Yeah.
But I generally think it's out of order. I don't think there is a place for it.
What Joe Marler did?
Yeah, I don't. Even though I did laugh at the time.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I agree. Like, I can't, like, as much as I love Joe Marler, I can't defend it. I mean, I still think it's funny. When I watch it, I'm like, I think it's funny because it's just so bizarre. Like, why would you? Why would you do that? Like, it just makes,
especially like a professional workplace at the highest level of rugby.
Yeah,
like you're at the top of the pinnacle of your sport, and you are an example.
Yeah, and to me, it's just crazy. Like, I find it funny that this guy did it.
And that's why I think it becomes a bit toxic because, like, that's kind of behavior where people will follow that and see that because people laughed at it and it was like comical. It was like really, it's like a bit of a shock. But then you could imagine guys doing that and seeing it, both on the rugby pitch, but then in other places as well. Because I think it's funny to do.
Yeah. it's it comes again. I was chatting to somebody this morning about it because they messaged me saying, "How is this not sexual assault?" And I said, "It is sexual assault. It technically is.
It is
sexual assault." I said, "It's a bit, it's different than somebody. To me, it's different than somebody going up. For example, he goes, "What if I touched a woman?" I'm like, I said, well, I said if a straight guy was predatorially touching a woman, that's very different. That's a lot sinister, a lot more darker."
I don't think so.
Really, in the sense of like, I'm not saying one's good and one's bad. They're both bad.
You're saying one is worse than the other.
One's worse than the other.
I think
if he was, for example, if it was because everybody's saying, what if a guy touched a girl? If a straight guy touched a straight girl, then I think that's a lot worse because it's, the intent is a bit more than just messing around.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the same. I think it's unfair to assume that because it's two straight people or something. But I think that, and even if there's like a sexual intent because they're attracted to them or not, to me they're the same because it's like almost like exhibitionist or showing off. So at someone else's expense, even if he's doing it not in a sexual way because he's attracted to that person, but doing it to, I don't know, show off, I think that's still the same.
So you class him the same as like Harvey Weinstein?
No, that's not what I said.
Well, Harvey Weinstein is in trouble for being a predatorial person, and he does just on a lot more levels. But
yeah, that's worse because it's like that's like a serial version of like the same like. But I'm not saying that Joe Marler is. I'm just saying I thought you were just saying the example of one. You said one straight man and one straight woman. I never said that particular individual like Harvey Weinstein. I'm not trying to say that Joe Marler is the same as Harvey Weinstein.
Maybe I jumped a bit extreme there.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, what if somebody was following a woman down the street and went up and grabbed her pussy, Donald Trump style? Is that worse? With the intent to rape her?
Well, I mean, I can't say whether it's worse or not. I just
in your opinion, is it worse?
I think, if I'm honest, I think it's worth questioning. Because I think some people like, the good thing about these sort of things, I guess, although some people think that people are too sensitive, is that at least there's a conversation that happens about the fact that Joe Marler done this and it's not just bants, it's something else. I don't think it's fair to say, oh, okay, so what if a man went up and grabbed someone by the pussy and then raped her? Are they the same? Because they're clearly not the same.
No, I didn't say rape. I said with the intent to rape.
But if, I don't know, there was someone in the workplace, I don't know, a Christmas party, and then as a joke, a woman's breast was like cupped, and then the man was like laughing, or a woman was laughing.
Yeah.
To me, they're the same.
What if a straight woman went up and grabbed another straight woman's breasts?
I think that's the same. I think that's bad.
All right.
Yeah.
But
people might but I think because people equate it to the response of the individual. So, because Alun Wyn Jones is a very large, masculine man, I'll assume, I don't know his background, assume that he's straight.
Well, he's married with kids at least anyway, so.
That he should not feel. This is a situation where they don't feel like they could be a victim or should be a victim. People will say, he could not be a victim of this type of thing.
Yeah.
And not to say that he is a victim, I'm not trying to victimize him, but that's a situation where people assume that he shouldn't feel victimized, because of his stature.
Yeah.
Which is not the case.
No, of course not.
And he might not feel mentally vulnerable.
No.
Whereas, I'm never, if people are who feel vulnerable, if you're a woman walking through a dangerous area and someone grabs you or something, or in a workplace, you could feel more vulnerable.
Yeah.
They might not have the same impact on an individual, but like the actual action should be seen as the same, really.
Yeah, like I said, I still think it's sexual assault.
Yeah.
But again, when I read the article this morning where Alun Wyn Jones, the way I read the headline on the article was that he hopes World Rugby look into it. I was shocked to see that article because I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, and maybe that's something I need to look at myself about. Because I just thought it was funny, and I still think it's funny, but I just find it bizarre at the same time.
I mean, I admit I still find it quite funny. Is his face?
Joe Marler, yeah, because he sort of smirks and saying, "I don't have a clue what's going on here."
Yeah, but it's not okay.
No, really, of course not. And obviously, people don't feel like you can go up and grab anyone by the genitalia.
But I think the thing that gets me, and that's why I do like. I think I do look at Twitter, especially when we come to like talking about things, just to get the worst of people, because some people are mad for it and be like, you know, in terms of the opposite, being like, oh, he shouldn't be upset, or you know, these people who commented on it. And basically, there was a lot of women that would be like, this is not okay, and then a lot of men that would be like, why does everyone get so sensitive about it? You know, and you're just like,
well, I'm in a few rugby chat groups, and again, they were just. Some people were like, "This is the worst thing ever." Other people like, "People need to chill." I mean, the great thing is we're all entitled to our opinions. Nobody's opinion is better or worse than anyone else's. It's all just opinion. I think the facts are Joe Marler could get cited for 12 weeks or up to 288 weeks. I think it is.
There's something like that. It was a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
That'd be mad if they tried to take this example and did the maximum number of weeks. Was it? You said 200 and something.
280. I think it was 280.
It was in the 200s, yeah. For some reason, I had it in my head as 208, but that's probably not true.
Well, it could be 280. I might have. Well, here, I've got it here. Grabbing, twisting, or squeezing the genitals and or breast in the case of a female player, max 208. You're right. Low end 12, mid-range 18 weeks, top end 24 weeks, max 208.
What do you think is an appropriate length?
I mean, Joe, well, it says grabbing, squeezing, twisting, or squeezing. He didn't grab, twist, or squeeze. I don't think it wasn't done. I think it's low end.
I do. I think the minimum time, because it was like, I feel like those ones come when someone's literally trying to hurt someone.
Yeah.
You know, grab it and be like yanking on someone's balls or something.
Yeah. Which is reserved for the club, not for the pitch. Thank you very much.
I still struggle sometimes. Because, you know, I try and be like as open as possible. And I'll look at a video with like CBT or something. But fuck me, that thing, I don't know if I and it's not a judgment thing. I'm just like, I just couldn't.
No. There's some things that I just can't go down.
Like, but
if Joe Marler wanted to come and tickle my balls, I'd be open for that.
But then Gareth Thomas got slated for things like this as well. So us as like people within the community needs to like set an example, right? And he is someone could have used that as an opportunity to say, you know, he's making a joke, being like, "Oh, gay people love to get touched up in a game or something," you know, and fit in with like this idea of what like rugby lads are.
Yeah, and I mean his joke made me cringe a bit.
That's the kind of shit I would say. I know I would make that kind of shit up as well. I'd say that's stupid, and so it's but I guess you've got to remember like where your platform is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I've never been as skilled as I am. I've never been an international player for rugby, so I'll never be in the scenario where Joe Marler will be tickling my balls.
Yeah.
If I'm ever in that scenario where Joe Marler,
I thought it was a funny joke as well, but it's also like you just need to remember, I guess, that you are representing a community in some way.
Massively, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a historical figure now.
Historical figure.
He's the first LGBT.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like he'll go in history for that. They're supposed to be making a film about him with Mickey Rourke. What's his name?
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Isn't he old?
Yeah, the film fell through, but that was supposed to be happening. I would see that. But yeah, that was the rugby. That's pretty mad. What else do you want to talk about, Matt? Let's move on to something else. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, of course, yeah. Now I know.
What do you want to talk about?
I can't pronounce his name.
Aaron
Schock.
Schock.
So for those who don't know, Aaron Schock was a US politician.
I never actually heard of him, did you?
I knew him from years ago, yeah. Years and years ago, I remember reading an article about him because he was a Republican and he was actively campaigning against same-sex marriage. And I remember because he made the waves because he was one of the youngest at the time, whatever he was at the time. He was one of the youngest ones.
Like 27.
Yeah, and I was shocked somebody so young would be steamrolling through an anti-LGBT movement. That's why I read it, and that's why it stuck with me. Plus, he was fairly handsome, and I think at the same time he had done a men's health shoot with his top off. So he stuck around in my memory for a bit, and I followed him on Instagram whenever he came on Instagram.
Well, way back when?
He wasn't on Instagram then, but yeah, I followed him on Instagram at least for the last year before he did what he did this week.
Even though he was anti-gay and he was Republican, you still followed him because he was hot?
No, because I followed up. I wondered whatever. I was about a year ago. I was wondering whatever happened to him. Like, why did he not go anywhere? Or why is he never?
Well, do you know why he resigned?
I think it was because of some fraud thing.
It was about how he's allocating like tax. He was using his money, taxpayers' money, and donations, whatever it is, to pay for his lavish lifestyle.
Well, we all know what that is now.
He was on like gay yachts and stuff.
Yachts. So he came out this week. That's the news, isn't it?
So I read through that his like statement and stuff, and I was like,
"You have so much time." I had no time to read it. I read 3 pages and I thought, right.
I woke up today before 6 a.m. accidentally. Like I just woke up and I couldn't sleep.
Ooh.
So I read it today, but I was reading it because originally when it came out, some people on like Facebook or whatever, and people we know like posted about it, and I was like, I was going to read this article, which I'll talk about in a moment. But I was like, let me read his thing first and try and make my own opinion. And I did not like his statement.
His tone was I found his tone odd.
It was very like, oh, everything has happened to me, and there was one thing that he's been slated for is there's not a single apology for his behaviour.
Yeah.
He in fact looks like he's trying to place blame on everything else around him.
Yeah, my upbringing, my life, my community I grew up in, the church.
It was like, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton also didn't were against same-sex marriage.
Well, they were,
but they also changed their views once they're in power and had voted to have same-sex marriage, whereas he's actively voted not to. He wasn't a passive role in these things and didn't stand up for like the community. He actively chose to.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was happening and he kept his mouth shut. It was, I'm against this and I'll steamroll anti-LGBT law. And I always say, and I said this the other day to you and you didn't respond, so I didn't know what you were going to say, but I would never out anyone. Never, ever, ever. Unless I knew that person is gay and they are...
You said it to me in person?
I said to you the other day, yeah.
And I said, well, I didn't say anything.
You didn't respond.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say something like, you're such a cunt.
I would never out anyone.
The point being, I was going to say, I would definitely 100% out somebody who is trying to take away the rights of others.
No, and I said to you, they wouldn't believe you.
Well, yeah, but I'd still like them. I'd still make that remark.
I wouldn't do that. I think outing someone is one of the worst things you could possibly do in the world.
It is, unless that person is trying to tell me that I'm not equal to them.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think that's
100%
wrong.
would.
No, that's not That's not right. You can't just because you. That's a spiteful move. Like that's a.
Well, then call me spiteful. I would still do it.
Okay, I think that's wrong, because then that's like an eye for an eye type of thing instead of being like,
it's
okay,
not,
well, I'll have.
It's not an eye for an eye.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. It's not an eye. It's not an eye for a thing at all. An eye for an eye would be, all right, if you're telling me I don't deserve equal marriage, I'm going to go against you and deny your right.
That's the whole two wrongs that make a right kind of situation.
No, it's sitting saying, if you're gay and you are trying to tell other gay people that they're less than straight people, then you're a bag of shit.
Okay, I get that bit, but I wouldn't out someone. Is what I'm saying. I would never do that. I think
well, we're
wrong.
different people.
But he's like, oh, he wants to be an example for coming out and other people following the story. It's like, you are not an example for anyone.
No.
So I'd read like this article about it's an open letter by this person, which I think is quite a short read. So you might be able to make some time for it. And it's on LGBTQ Nation by someone called Adam Sank, and I think it says he's a comedian. And he says, "You are not welcome here, and not that you asked for our forgiveness, but you don't have it." Do you think that? And a lot of people would be like, just because you've come out doesn't mean you should be a part of the community. What do you agree or disagree with that?
It's a tough one, I have to say. I think everyone deserves forgiveness. And it's up to each and every one individual to forgive somebody like this in their own way, in their own time. I don't think just because you've come out, you should be welcome in like open arms and be like, hey, welcome, all's good. Sort of like, you need to apologize for what you did. You need to work with. I mean, I'm not being funny, but I could 100% tell that guy was gay before he came out.
He even wrote like being like, for those of people that know me, they wouldn't be surprised or something like that. Like in his first sort of lines, or whatever.
His Instagram for the last year has been gay.
Just thirst trap upon thirst trap upon thirst trap.
It is literally, and it's like he's gone to like all these clubs with all these topless men. And I'm like, this is coming soon. I could sense it was coming soon.
Like, no, I think you're right. Like, people do deserve forgiveness, but there needs to be a sense of atonement. One thing he needs to do is apologize, and at no point did he apologize and say sorry for his actions towards the community he now wants to be a part of.
Yeah.
And just because he has come out doesn't grant him entry into this, because he didn't have a passive role. He had a very active role in trying to deny people their rights, or what we see as our rights, you know what I mean? And just apologize. Start advocating for the community, because you do have a platform.
Yeah.
As well.
100%. He's now in a community where, thankfully, his motions were never put through, and President Obama put through same-sex marriage, and he's now able to reap the benefits of that.
And I just got such a bad distaste for like him as a person, and I hadn't read anything else apart from his statement. I will say that.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and make up my own opinion, but I feel like there was a negative tone to it anyway. When I was reading through his thing, it was like everything was like, oh, I had to go through this because these people. There were a few, like, obviously he had to. We just said he had to resign because of his allegations, but it was never. What's the word?
It was sort of never.
It was never proven. Sorry,
yeah.
And then it was dropped because of like apparently. The evidence wasn't collected and stuff. It's so gay.
But that was back when he was campaigning.
That's probably a special night, though. I guess that's the thing.
That was back when he was campaigning against same-sex marriage at some barbecue, wearing white jeans, a bright turquoise belt, and a thick pink and white checked shirt.
Everything in his statement was like, "Oh, everything is against me." But I've come through and I'm better for it. Even during these allegations, stop it. He keeps showing me pictures of. You do think he's really hot, don't you?
I think he's banging.
And I was like, he's just like, oh, he's like, everything is written. I'm just like, in his head, he's like, I've just done so well to come out. Like, I'm just so proud of myself. I've done so well.
It's such a bad come out. It's almost
it was really bad.
Do you know what it made me think of? It made me think of Kevin Spacey's coming out.
I never actually listened to it.
Oh, it was a statement. It was right after he was accused of sexually assaulting that 14-year-old boy, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm gay." It's like, wait a minute, no, let's take a step back here, Kevin. You just can't like come out polishing this gay badge as if it's some way to overlook the fact that you allegedly grabbed some boy's penis at a party.
Even though we know that like he's been going around grooming loads of people.
Yeah.
Which is really bad. Anyway, I don't think that Aaron.
Why
are you saying Adam?
You're Adam on the brain.
Well,
the big question that we had.
Oh yeah.
Is he still fuckable? Would you fuck him? Would you have sex with him?
At this point in time?
Like if he was, we're out in the club and he's there grinding up against, coming your way.
Do I know who he is?
Yeah, you know it's him. Oh, wait a minute. 2 questions. You don't know it's him and then you know it's him.
How would that go about? Like, oh, you start to chat to me.
We're like,
then I'll be like, I'll go to the toilet. Then you'll be like, Matt, do you know who that is? That kind of situation you mean?
Well, no, let's say he comes up to you in the bar and he's like grinding up against you, his top's off, he's sweaty, and he's like, let's get out of here and go back to yours. You're like, oh, all right, well, would you?
And I don't know who
you
he
know
is.
Who he is.
Of course I would.
Right, you go back to his, and then, you know, you do the deed. You put your, I'm trying to think of a sex reference for you. Your meaty javelin into his
meaty javelin. God, how awful it is.
Slush pocket. And then the next day, you're like, oh, hooked up with this hot guy. You take a picture, send to me. I'm like, do you not know who that is? And I said, that's the anti-LGBT campaigner. What would you do?
I'd laugh.
Would you stay in bed?
Oh, I'm there.
You're still there, yeah.
Nah. It depends if we were having a nice chat earlier on that day. If we got to know each other.
Yeah.
If I'd done it, I wouldn't mind. It's beforehand. I don't think that's the right question. Would you do it now if you know it? If you saw him out? You, of course you would.
Of course
You've got no shame.
It's not that I've got no shame. I look out for myself. Like, he's banging.
I wouldn't get with him now.
I would 100% get with him now. I would have no qualms with getting with him now.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I've been chatting to somebody else, and I won't say who it was, because he posted that he would also.
Obs.
And
do I know them?
No.
Lies.
You know you don't. And we were chatting anyway, and he messaged me saying, "Do you know, I got a lot of people came at me for saying that I would sleep with him." And I'm like, well, "Of course you would sleep with him. He's hot." And he goes, "Yeah, I would. I'd just be extra rough though." Like, oof.
He would love it though, the fucking dirty bitch. He would though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he is. Oh, he's so hot.
You can tell that he wants to be told, like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You can see it in his face.
Spit in his face.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No. Read this article in LGBT Nation. I think it's really interesting.
Oh, I don't have time.
It's really short.
How long is it?
Listen to this. It says, in December 2010, as President Obama was working to lift the ban on gay service members in the US military, and this is a letter, so he voted against the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Yeah, of course.
And he noticed he omitted that issue entirely in his non-apology. The person keeps saying your non-apology note, which it is. In fact, Aaron, his voting record against the community was so heinous that the Human Rights Campaign gave him a 0 rating. A 0. They have this, like, they rate people on their human rights, and he got a 0. And then he was under, I can't think of any English languages, but they thought that he was stealing money to fund his lifestyle, so he had to resign.
Yeah.
No. And then he's like, oh, God, I've been through so much, but I'm so glad I come through it. Hope that can be an example.
Hey, LGBT friends.
Please, welcome me with open arms.
Welcome me with open legs, man.
Oh, my God. No. And you know there'll be a whole bunch of self-hating gays that would take him in. The ones that just want him. It's true.
I'm not a self-hating.
Yeah, you are. I know you don't think you are, but you are.
You think I'm self-hating?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, I guess you figured, hey, I've got a hot body, so I'm sure they'll be happy to welcome me here. Well, guess what? Aside from morally bankrupt few, we're not. You are not welcome here. Coming out does not undo or justify the harm you've caused us. Your sad coming out story opens no doors.
I love how this guy thinks he talks for the whole LGBT community. I mean, I think it's great that he's putting my voice in there.
Well, yes. I mean, he doesn't hate himself as much as you hate yourself.
I mean, I don't hate myself at all.
Yeah.
He has a point, but I also don't think he has the right to sit and say, you're not welcome here. He's not the fucking queen of...
This bit's a bitch much. She says, and speaking for myself, if I ever see you in one of our spaces, you can expect an ice cold drink in your pretty face.
Pretty face. What a shitty bitch that person is who wrote that.
Why?
Pretty face?
He has got a pretty face.
I know.
I wouldn't throw my drink in someone's face, though. Not that he should or would.
No, of course not.
But
I wouldn't waste the drink.
If it was water. I was saying, someone asked me this, like, what is my drink of choice? What drink I don't like? I can't think of a drink that I don't like.
Tequila.
I think tequila is so delicious.
Tequila, I have only ever been in 2 fights in my life, both of which
What did that bitch do?
I've been on tequila.
Her heels.
No, 2 fights in my life. Tequila was drunk both nights.
Did you start the fight?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That means I think I also think it's like cheap tequila gets me just my blood boiled, because I also remember the night I was with my ex, and I'd come home, and do you remember our old house? We had the open roof, and
one of them was with your ex?
No, this is
All out brawl on the balcony.
No, this is another night I've drunk tequila and I was fine.
Huh.
We were out for a night. We're both on separate nights out. We got back. He was in bed. I came in smashed. Went up. I woke him up and said, "Get up." And he's just like, "Why?" I said, "Because I want to drink more." And he's like, "Oh, I'm too tired." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I went up to the roof and I put the music on, and I played Nicki Minaj, Starships, on repeat for like an hour
on the open roof balcony,
full blast. And woke him up, obviously, because I wanted him up. And I just remember us drinking, I can't name the tequila, Patron? Yeah, tequila. So we were drinking, like, he got a fancy bottle of Patron for his birthday. We just both drank that naked on the balcony.
Naked?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god.
And then the little Christian guys who lived downstairs, a gay couple lived below us, little Christian guys, they came up and complained and how they had to play organ in the church the next day and they didn't appreciate us playing music full blast all night.
That is rude. You'd hate that.
It is, but I also didn't care.
No, absolutely not.
I was just like, your cat stinks out the hallway, so your opinion means very little to me. So yeah, tequila fights. That's the only drink I don't like.
But I don't think now, if I'd seen him in public, I would want to have sex with Aaron Schock.
It's good. It means that more chance for me.
Shanky?
Schlong. Aaron Schlong.
Yeah.
That's it, guys.
Yeah.
Another episode. Thanks for listening.
I hope you have a lovely week, Ashley.
I hope you have a nice week. I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. I've got a busy week ahead.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, next week. Let's wait till next week. We need to go. Jordan's cooking food for us.
Yay.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.